Hey everyone, you're listening to WLPN LP Chicago 105.5 FM Lumpen Radio, and thank you for joining in on Wattz Up, Summer 2025 Cafecito Edition. Today's episode is on Drip Collective, a coffee shop located in West Loop. We have a diverse cast of interviews covering topics like coffee, music, art, flowers, and how drip came to be.
Hello, my name is Stephanie. Hopefully you're having a really good day. Could you give us your name and a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, sure. So, hi Stephanie, nice to meet you. My name is Christopher, and I am founder of Tizo Coffee.
That's nice, yeah. How are you feeling today? How's your day going?
It's going pretty well. Today, I'm working drip today, so kind of regular routine, but switching it up a little.
Yeah,
having this little thing going on. Well, I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So you had mentioned that you're the founder of Tizo Coffee.
Yes.
So there is one of your Instagram posts that I was looking at, and you mentioned that you collaborate with growers in Mexico. Is there a reason why specifically growers in Mexico?
Yeah. So since the beginning of when I started Tizo, I always wanted to highlight Mexican producers because that's my heritage, right? I grew up being Mexican, and I saw kind of a lack of presence in the specialty coffee community. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to kind of just showcase that, showcase where I'm from, but also represent my heritage by highlighting Mexican producers. And
then how did that process come about? I had heard that you physically go to meet the growers sometimes. So yeah, how did you start that process?
So it kind of started a couple years back when I did a coffee tour in Guadalajara. This was when I had just started in coffee, and so I had never been back to Mexico as an adult, kind of in the industry. So I went over there and I just went to all the coffee shops that I could, and I kind of got to know the industry, got to know the baristas, and kind of fell in love with that culture, and that kind of fell into now. I have yet to go to Origin to go visit the actual farms, but that is a goal of mine right now. But it kind of it goes back to that, but goes to this. I wanted to start this to build that tribute, right? To then start and then go back. This year, later in the year, I want to go visit the farms. I know some producers, the producers where I started with my first couple of lots, coffees that I released. I got their info, so I'm planning trips to go meet them in person.
Yeah. And then, can you describe the process of how the beans get from Mexico to here?
Yeah. So it's a long process, right? Because you're growing a product in Mexico and then trying to get it over here. Mm-hmm. But usually what they do is, since Mexico is so close, what they'll do is producers will send their crop to a community mill. So this mill, cultivates and processes the coffee, because coffee is green. I don't know if you knew that, but
no, I didn't know
so it's
that.
a cherry, right? The producers pick it off the cherry, and then from there they send it to this mill, and this mill washes the coffee and strips it. So you get the little seed, and coffee in the beginning is like a little pebble. It's a green pebble, and then once they do that, they dry it for a couple of days, pack it into these huge sacks. They're 153 pounds, so they're huge, they're this big. And once they do that, they ship them and they pack them in containers. So those containers, they drive all the way to the border, and then from the border, another shipping company drives it all the way over here. But there's some cases where, let's say, we were living, in Japan or something, Mexican producers will have to pack it in a container, shipping container, and then ship it
all the way over there.
Yeah.
Wow. So you're right. It is a long process.
It's a long process. You kind of try to streamline it a little bit, but yeah.
So I'm gonna shift a little bit to the design of the coffee cans. Yeah. What inspired the design?
So the design was I'm a sci-fi kind of geek. I'm really into old sci-fi movies. I'm really into Blade Runner, Star Wars, are kind of the main ones, And I always wanted to I always thought of my packaging, I was like, what would a coffee product look like in the future, right?
Okay.
And so, like, I don't know if you've seen the movie Alien or Aliens.
Yeah.
It's just like, you just look around in like the sets and you're kind of looking at all the odd things, like you're like the trinkets. I'm like, all right, what would a coffee package look like? And so that was like inspiration, and that's why I came up with the idea of getting a stainless steel can, because I'm like, this is something that lasts a long time. It's reusable, so I feel like this would be like floating around in space or something, if something would happen, And I've always just been really into like very minimal, just clean, and then like hence like this little dude right here, I don't really know what it is. It kind of like came about in a way. I kind of made my little hat, but I was just like, it looks kind of cool. Let's put it on there. But yeah, it's just kind of like what would a coffee package look like in the future, dystopian future.
Yeah, I can definitely get like the vibes of it, like, oh yeah, I would see this in space, like floating around. All right, so what influenced you to create a brand that combines music and coffee? Because in one of the posts it mentions music is a part of the brand.
Yes.
So what inspired you to do that?
So music was a very big and deep passion of mine before I got into coffee. Like that was like my thing. Like I thought like I was gonna be, like I still want to be, but music was just very like close to me. Like growing up, I played guitar, learned how to play jazz in school, and then I started, producing like music on my own. Like at home, I had my home studio. I record myself and like make music. Like a couple years back, I made like my first EP. That was more kind of like synth heavy, like synth pop, like kind of like in that genre. And I wanted to find a way where I could bring back that passion into the career that I have made now in coffee. And so like that's, I feel like, why it gave me such a drive to create Tizo, and like just to fuse the two together. Right now it's kind of finding the work balance, because doing coffee and roasting is one thing, and then like finding the creative like space and time to do music is another thing. So that's something that I'm like trying to develop and create, is like kind of a ritual and kind of just how do I put it? Just kind of like a schedule per se, just to find a way to do both. Like like right now, working on some like music, and I want to create themes for Tizo. Like each release, create a little theme that goes with it. So then like you can scan the can and then like
really
listen to the
cool.
song while you brew the coffee or drink the coffee.
So it's like creating like an experience while listening to the coffee.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
And it's really cool that you have these two passions that you're like able to combine together. So we was kind of talking about that, but there is an event called the Pizza event that you're having today, I believe. And so on one of their Instagram posts, they were talking about that they'll be having like donations to some place called Global Garden. Is there like a reason why like is there a reason why those donations are going there?
So Dialtone Pizza, kind of give you a little brief thing about it, is a collaborative effort with two of my friends. It's JV, so it's John Vega and DJ Dejavel, and they we met together at another coffee shop called 4 Letter Word. It's another coffee roastery in like Avondale area.
Okay.
And I had worked there, a couple years, like last year, the year before, and it's like one of the coffee shops that I kind of like, fell in love with, because it's just so cool in there. Like, it's like very well curated. The machine is kind of similar to the one we have here, but instead of like 3 levers, it has 2 levers, so it's a beautiful machine. And we met there, and each of us have a passion for something different in the same environment. Like JV is very into creating like drinks. So like mocktails or cocktails or coffee drinks. That's his strong suit. And DJ is, coincidentally and funny enough, a DJ too. He makes music and he curates like, music and like environments. Like he's like very like well known in like Chicago. He knows a lot of like just local artists that make music, do art, and then me, I'm like the coffee guy, right? Like I'm like really into like Tizo and then coffee and making sure creating that that connection and that atmosphere when like service, like part of service. So all three of us created dial tone. Kisa. Kisa is a word. It's a Japanese word that kind of defines it's a hi-fi bar. So like a listening room. So like it's a space where you can go in, listen to music, and then just have a drink or have a little like little snack, and then just kind of like vibe, like chill. So we wanted to bring that here, and so that was the whole thing. So that's what's happening on today. Excited for it, and we decided. So my team decided to donate to this charity because they wanted to give back. We always wanted to find a way to give back, and we're also working with Cha Cha Club. They're going to be doing food. They do like food and like catering in the area, and they kind of recommended that too. And so it's just like something where we can help out. We want to be part of the neighborhood and just give back.
Yeah, definitely. It's really cool seeing like how you're saying these different ways that you guys are collaborating with your community. So with your brand, what was a key moment that like inspired you to be like, yeah, I'm going into coffee?
Key moment. Okay. I think it would have to be when I started taking it like seriously was when I first discovered like roasting. Because when I first started in coffee, I was a barista. Very into like latte art, like making designs, going to competitions, like competing. And when I got the chance to roast for the first time, I was like, whoa! I fell in love with the process. Like it doesn't taste like that long to roast a batch of coffee. It takes like around anywhere from 9 to 10 minutes. But just the whole process and the art of it, because you have to pay attention to, what kind of varietal of bean you have, and the heat, the time, how much like intensity of heat you're adding to it, how long are you gonna roast it for, like while you're roasting it, like there's a little thing called a trier. It's like a little thing that you can like pull out the coffee while it's roasting. And like you use that to smell and to look at the color of the coffee while it's roasting. It changes, and then you're like you're smelling, and you're like, oh, does it smell dry? Does it smell humid? Like just like little things like that. And I just I was just like, whoa, like this is really like this is very different. I've never done anything like this. I just like kind of fell in love with it. I was just like, I think I want to continue doing this. I just like and yeah, I started from there. I think that was like 4 years ago, working at a coffee roastery at the time, and I was just like, I think I'm gonna do this. Like, this is it.
That's really cool. Yeah. It's nice to see like that it sparked something in you, and that it caused you to go in this direction. So and again, it's really cool that this is like a very new brand, but like you did it.
I don't think it's kind of surreal sometimes.
I can imagine. But yeah, I don't know. Thank you for like giving us some background on your brand. Do you have any final like words you want to say? Anything you want to mention about your brand?
Let's see. Like I guess more coffee coming soon, right? Because I hope to be able to share more in the city and just teach more about coffee, its process, and about my Mexican heritage along the way. Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And music. Yeah. Music is coming soon too. It's good.
Yeah. Right. Thank you again for taking time to talk to me, and it was really nice meeting you.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you very much for having me. All right. Thank you.